Hello, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me. This is exercise number 1.4. What we're talking about now is something we've all intuitively known. A conversation is either spinning downhill or spinning uphill. It either has negative momentum or positive momentum. Momentum is an extremely powerful thing. In fact, at one point, the largest stored energy in the United States was a flywheel at Dartmouth University, used for high energy physics. Momentum is a powerful force. What we're going to talk about today is a little bit complicated, but stick with me and I think it'll be intuitive. Your notes will diagram it better than I can here, so please take time looking at the notes. But a negative emotion or a negative conversation, which I will call red communication, which is constant conflict. Constant conflict is characterized by, it's like a volleyball game. What we say to each other is the offense. And back to exercise number 1.1, this is normally you statements. And it's normally criticisms. You did this, you did this, you did this, well you did this, okay? We also have the defensive part, what we say about ourselves, and that is self-affirming or self-affirmation. Self-affirm. Now, the way that looks is you did this. Well, you did this. Of course I did this because you did this. I didn't have any choice to do that because you did this. We're basically saying you're wrong, I'm right, I'm defending myself with these self-affirmations and shooting back another you statement. Healthy conversations, on the other hand, you take exactly the same diagram and simply reverse how things go. In a healthy conversation, we are normally affirming each other. Okay? Boy, you were kind. Boy, you were gentle. Now, we shouldn't do so much of this, but we can complete the diagram. Shouldn't do too much, like I said, is self-criticism. Now, if any of you are from Minnesota, of Swedish heritage like me, you know it is a violation of our culture to accept an affirmation. You did this well. Yeah, if you only knew me. Boy, you were kind. Well, that's because you were kind to me. Okay, the proper response to an affirmation is thank you. But we have to recognize sometimes we do these self-criticisms. There's not a lot of good reasons for this. That's why I'm hoping this is a real small piece. But if you say to me, Craig, you are a really good counselor. No. What am I saying? I'm either saying you're an idiot for thinking I'm a good counselor, or I'm trolling for another copy. You're a good counselor. Oh, no. No, you're one of the best. No, come on. Come here, okay? So there's no good thing here. But you see my point? This is a healthy conversation, and it has momentum. Boy, you're kind. You made it easy for me to be kind. Thank you for being so gentle. Well, your action just made it easy for me to be gentle. And we get momentum stopping and then going back the other direction. So this is going to be an engineer talking. I'll just warn you. This is an engineer talking about how to change from that to this. Let's assume, and I didn't mean it to be the man, but let's assume that this person, what I'll call go green, not getting politically involved there, but this person wants to go green. And you just got hit with a scathing criticism from your wife. If you look at this diagram, this person has two choices. We can self-criticize, in other words, own the criticism if it's accurate, or we can affirm them. Now, an example will say how this affirming back is not very intelligent. I've criticized my wife a couple times. I'll give me one. My wife many times has said, Craig, you are being controlling and mean-spirited right now. Now, just as an aside, I would suggest a spouse that knows you and loves you will almost never give you a criticism that's without basis. In 46 years, my wife has never called me a disgusting, obese tub of lard. I don't struggle with weight. She's called me controlling and mean-spirited about 10,000 times. So I would suggest a criticism from your wife or your husband almost always has truth in it. You can almost guarantee there's a grain of truth in it. Well, if there's a grain of truth in it, what you want to do, make a little more room here. What you want to do is acknowledge and own the criticism. And if appropriate, apologize. We talked about that a couple of sessions ago. And ask forgiveness. Looks complicated, but honey, you are being mean-spirited and controlling right now. I think that's accurate. I hate when I do that. Would you forgive me? Now, I asked for forgiveness. I asked a question, which means I threw the ball over the net. In a volleyball sense, she spiked it. I could have returned it. I grabbed it. I said, your point. And I rolled the ball into the net. Your serve. Criticism, acknowledgement, apology, stop the pattern. It's in her court. Now, and I don't mean to be gendered. I probably should have done it the other way. If the wife criticizes again, you may do this a second time. But if it comes a third time, this is not about being a doormat. Okay? If you ask for forgiveness and she ignores the question and criticizes again and you acknowledge it and she criticizes again, it's really time to do a stop action back from exercise number 1.1. Okay? But assuming you're not in that bad a place, what normally happens, first of all, your wife will be so shocked that you did it, she won't know what to do. But yes, I forgive is an affirmation. You are worth it. I forgive you. Yes, you're worth it. Okay? So we're halfway there. What normally happens at this point, and I've just seen it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, if this person takes the high road, accepts and owns the criticism, apologizes, asks for forgiveness, it's almost inevitable the other person goes through the same process. Well, thank you for that, but I was pushing your buttons and I was doing it on purpose. I don't have an excuse for that. Would you forgive me? Okay. Would you forgive me? Ask. Wait. At this point, you're clearly going to say yes. And do you notice the entire diagram, the entire diagram turned healthy. Okay. It's because one person took the high road and accepted the criticism as accurate and truthful. If it's not, I don't want you to own it. But like I said earlier, every criticism in general from a loving spouse is correct. Just own it. It's not going to help to deny it. Own it, ask for forgiveness, throw the ball over the net, roll it under the net. Would you forgive me? They affirm yes. They own their stuff. They affirm yes. Now the conversation is going the other direction. By someone owning it first, saying, I'm going to stop this pattern. But again, pride usually said, well, she really ought to go first, or he ought to go first. Well, the Bible says you go first. Doesn't matter if you're less than half the problem, you go first. Start the green process. So at this point, we're back to completely healthy. Okay? All of this is diagrammed in your paperwork. Your homework is to watch for times when a conversation is going negatively. It's spinning the wrong direction. Initiate the process. One or both of you, in general, only one will remember this, and only one will start the process. But follow it through the end and see if we can't be going the other direction with the conversation. Thank you for attending. I will see you next exercise.